Hey Helldivers, we've got some bad news about the latest major order. We'll be diving into that shortly. We'll also cover a recent bug affecting the fast recon vehicle as well as other stratagems, plus an intriguing image shared by the developers. And that's not all, there's even more to discuss. If you find this video helpful at any point, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell to stay in the loop with all the latest updates. Let's start off the video by going over the brand new major order we've just received, one I definitely didn't see coming. In my last video, I talked about how High Command sent out a dispatch urging us to mourn the citizens lost to Moradesh. Well, the Terminids have decided to interrupt that idea, and now they've attacked two different planets that we've just lost. We failed to defend two different planets, and the last one is one we absolutely needed. Not only that, but the new bug variants are back in action as well. Anyway, if you're nowhere near your console or PC, don't worry, I'll break it down for you right now. We'll go over it quickly. So High Command posted this update on the Galactic War Table, and here's what they said. The Center of Science, after significant research on Illuminate technology and E710, has proposed a multi-stage plan to counteract the movement of the Meridian Singularity. Stage 1 is already complete, the completion of a partial blockade of the Singularity. Stage 2 is the construction of the Penrose Energy Siphon, a means by which to effect a large, one-time reduction in dark energy accumulation. The process is highly scientific and sophisticated. Hopefully, a Helldiver-friendly explanation has been provided by the Center of Science. It's a giant rocket that we put close enough to the Singularity to be swept up in its rotation, but not so close that it falls in, and then blasts back out using tons and tons of E710, thereby stealing some of the Singularity's energy. Hail Super Earth. The device will be constructed piecewise in the orbit of several planets. The Helldivers must hold each of these planets until construction is complete. Following construction, in a subsequent order, the Helldivers will assist in gathering the massive amounts of E710 required to power the device. So we're building a rocket designed to orbit close to the Singularity, near enough to harness its energy, but not so close that it gets sucked in. It'll hover there, gathering momentum before blasting back out using the E710 fuel we have collected. To make this work, we need to hold on to Sakunis, Yoriska, Finir, and Heath. The big question now is, which planet do we choose? Well, unfortunately, we lost two of the planets, so we're in deep water right now. Now let's talk about the bad news. We have lost two of the planets we were supposed to defend. For example, Secundus, and we've also lost Finir. If we're not able to liberate these planets within the time, then we're going to have some serious problems, guys. Because at that point, we will fail the major order, then we're going to see all of the planets destroyed, including Super Earth. We cannot allow that to happen, and let's say, Joel decides to pull a fast one, Let's say he decides to attack Yoriska or maybe Heath. Then we're going to have to defend those planets while also trying to liberate, the two planets we just lost. So obviously, we have to keep our, eyes peeled and see what's going on and try to, organize everything correctly, because otherwise, we're going to fail it. So what I suggest we do right now is head over to Finir, make sure we liberate this planet as soon as possible since it's the center of science, and we can then move on to Sakunis. That way we can get everything figured out with the FRVs, because of course, that's the factory hub. We have to make sure that's secured as well. So yes, I recommend heading over here to Finir, then go over to Sakunis, and if, Heath is next, or maybe it's Yoriska, will defend those planets. But just keep your eyes peeled, and we should be good to go. Also, on a related note, if we check out IVIS, we can see it says 3 weeks, 6 hours, 38 minutes. Yes, we have 3 weeks until Meridia here comes over and blows up IVIS, then goes over to Niblaria, or Niblaria, whichever. So, yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on here. Now, the only question is, will the Meridia Singularity reach Super Earth? No, I don't think so, and no, I don't think it'll reach IVIS. Unless we fail this major order, which that appears to be the case. We might fail this one. The reason why is because we've lost two planets, and if we lose more, then we're certainly doomed. Moving on, we need to talk about the fuel situation impacting the fast recon vehicle. Right now, with Secundus under attack, a fuel shortage has emerged, and that means we have to liberate the planet as soon as possible. If we fail to hold Secundus, the fast recon vehicle will face some serious issues. Anyways, here's the latest dispatch from High Command. They wrote, Arcanar Secundus, home of the AM Defense Factory Hub producing FRVs, is under attack. Production disruptions have resulted in fuel rations for FRVs until the attack can be repelled. So yesterday, when I uploaded this video, I actually took it down, corrected some things, and yeah, so yesterday there was a strange bug that appeared that gave the fast recon vehicle a 15-minute cooldown. On the Super Destroyer, it displays 480 seconds, which is 8 minutes. However, at some point when the major order was issued or dropped, the fast recon vehicle and other stratagems received a 15-minute cooldown. Joel was able to confirm that it's a bug and has since managed to fix it. Now at one point, Baskinator, the community manager, posted this message in bold and said, "Stratagem cooldowns have been fixed. Check our work, it should be sorted out now." A Helldiver then chimed in asking whether the effect was disabled or fully functional again. Baskinator replied with a quote from Joel, clarifying it all, and this is what she said. "Had to do a little workaround, so the effect is slightly altered, but straight from GM Joel himself. I fixed it by redirecting the effect to target the FRV fuel instead. Normal stratagems should no longer be impacted." There you go, we found out that it was just a bug, and it wasn't supposed to work that way, and now it's been resolved, so that's really cool to see. On a similar note about the fuel shortage, we actually have an idea of how much has been decreased, because now that we've lost Secundus, this is what High Command had to say in the latest dispatch. They wrote, Arcanar Secundus has fallen to the Terminids. The AM Defense Factory Hub has been evacuated. FRV fuel will be reduced by 90% until the planet is reclaimed, or until fuel can be sourced elsewhere. Yeah, so now the fuel is affected by 90%. That's a lot. And also, what we need to think about is, what do they mean about fuel elsewhere? Are we planning on finding a new place to set the factory hub? Maybe? I have no idea, but that right there was interesting to me. Continuing on, a Helldiver pinged Shams, the CEO, and asked if we could get the Purger from Killzone 4, a minigun with 600 rounds that doesn't require reloading. Shams replied that he'd check with a weapon developer about it since they sit near each other. Now, how amazing would that be? I'd love to see another Killzone weapon collaboration, you know, especially if it's the Purger. Maybe we'll see it in the near future. I certainly hope so. Even if it's not the Purger, hope it's something cool and powerful. Oh, and since we're talking about collaborations, I'd love to know, what do you think about another collab, another crossover? Is it time for Arrowhead to drop another one, or should they give it some more time? Let me know down below in the comments about it, because I certainly think we should see another collaboration soon. I think it'd be a great idea, and, you know, plus, we would be able to buy some new stratagems, possibly. Maybe some new weapons. Who knows? I'm definitely excited for it. So yeah, let me know what you think. Also, Shams, the CEO, responded to a fellow Helldiver about leaks, and this is what he had to say about it specifically. I don't have an opinion, TBH. I'm going to trust the community team to come up with something good. I think, generally speaking, we don't think it's fun for the community as a whole that unreleased stuff gets spoiled. Yeah, I have to agree. You know what? I think at some point it does affect the developers in a very bad way. For example, I've talked about it before. The Killzone 2 collaboration was supposed to be a war bond during development, but then shortly was changed and was sold as shop items in the Superstore. That upset quite a few people. I didn't talk about it at all, you know, when it dropped, but yeah, a lot of people found out that, hey, yeah, it's supposed to be a war bond, and then they found out, and yeah, things went south from there. So obviously, certain things like that does affect the developers in a terrible way. So yeah, leaks are not good when it comes down to that situation, right? What I'd like to cover now is a brand new Helldivers 2 post by the official Helldivers 2 social media account. They wrote, the Ministry of Unity has created this helpful infographic to help troubled citizens process the destruction of Moradesh. Then right below it says, the Helldivers, 5 stages of grief after a violent incident. Confusion, inability to process the violent incident. Sadness, sadness for those affected by the inconceivable tyranny. Anger, rage against those who brought this upon us. Enlistment. Extreme desire to enlist a Helldiver and enact righteous vengeance. Heroism. A new sense of honor and glory in defending Super Earth. What I'd like to know is, which one are you feeling the most? Are you feeling confused, sad, anger, enlistment, heroism? Let me know down below in the comments. But this right here is absolutely awesome. I found this just hilarious. I thought it was funny. I thought it was just overall great. But yeah, let me know what you think. What I'd like to bring up now are some cool ideas from the community. The first one is from him Bozo. And this right here is a resupply rover booster. This is actually incredible. So right here, he wrote, resupply now drops as an all-terrain rover that travels with Helldivers, as well as containing 2 more supply packs. Can't be destroyed, but only stops moving and despawns when out of supplies. I really like this idea. However, I have a feeling that there would be some issues with tracking and how the rover would move around. Would it get stuck on certain objects? Would it possibly, tip over? I'm sure there's a lot of weird situations. Nonetheless, I think this is a great idea, and if the developers can implement it into the game, I think that'd be awesome to see. Now, that right there is not the only idea Himbozo came up with. Right here, we have a support weapon mount backpack. He wrote, allows Helldivers to carry an extra support weapon in place of a backpack, as well as giving support weapons extra ammo reserves. If this was actually a stratagem, I would be using this every single time I dived onto a planet. I mean, the ability to carry an extra support weapon like 2 eats on my backpack would be amazing, because that would give me the option to actually leave with both of my support weapons, right? And not just leave 1 eats behind. So anyways, let me know what you think about this, all of this, right? Would you like to see something like that in game? Or do you have any stratagem ideas of your own? If so, post them below and let's talk about it. Last but not least, we have the top 3 comments. If you would like to be featured in the video, Helldivers, all you have to do is comment down below. The first top comment is by Stefan. Board game got color customizations before the actual game. That right there is funny. You know what? Hey, eventually we'll see customization soon for armors and whatnot. The second top comment comes from David. We didn't even get to play on Moradesh before it became Lessadesh. That is awesome right there, dude. Great comment. The last and final comment is by Omega Foxtrot 2380. Feels like at the start of Helldivers 2 there was a new mission type every couple of weeks, and now I don't remember seeing one for months and months. That's the actual content of the game. War bonds and stratagems are decent, but at the end of the day, it's never changing what you're fundamentally doing. That's why I think so many, including myself, are bored of this. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, it felt like there was just constantly stuff coming, like different contents, different enemies, and all this other stuff with missions and objectives and all that. Unfortunately, I think what caused a major setback was when, the whole nerf situation went down, and then they had to escalate to the 60-day plan, and then from there, I think they're trying to catch up still, if you had to ask me, but I could be wrong. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, found it informative, or found it, cool or whatever, give this video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on those beautiful notifications. Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone that's currently a member. I'll see you in the next one.